I bet you've heard of Magic, and no, not the one with tricks for kids, the fashion show. There is a huge trade show that happens all around the country multiple times a year called Magic. It is sisters and cousins with some other trade shows. But in this video, I'm not only gonna walk you through just like how to go to Magic, how to shop at Magic, but honestly, any other market that you're going to, whether it's the Atlanta market, the Dallas market, or even Chicago market, I'm gonna walk you through all of this so that when you go and show up at market, you feel really good about what you're doing and you feel like, yes, I've got this. So stay tuned. If you haven't met me yet, hi, I'm Emily Benson. I'm author of The Ultimate Boutique Handbook. It's a best-selling book available on Amazon. I'm also a speaker on the stage at Magic trade shows. And so I feel like overly qualified to talk you through this because I started as a shopper at Magic and now I'm a speaker and a consultant when I go there. So it's really fun for me because it's one of my favorite sort of conglomerates of shows. And I want to talk you through it. So let's start at the beginning. Why is it called Magic? I don't know. Doesn't matter, but it can be confusing. So make sure you're heading to magicfashionevents.com so that you know that you're in the right place, right? You should be seeing like shirts and clothes and kids things. And let's talk about this. What is actually at Magic to buy? Well, if you're a boutique owner or you're planning to open a store, you can head on over to Magic and actually shop a ton of vendors all at once. So imagine going to something like Fair or Fashion Go, but it's actually in person. You get to touch, you get to feel, you get to talk to the designers. Like this is an opportunity for you to take a business trip when you own a boutique. And I don't want you to miss out on expensing that business trip, having fun, getting great styles, and also again, like hearing educational speakers like me speak on stage about what's going on right now. That's really what sums up this event is that you are going to get the latest, greatest in fashion, accessories, and streetwear and sourcing, all of this under one roof. So for me, Magic is the best place to recommend because it does have a lot of really relevant to you product. Okay, maybe you don't like to travel or maybe you do, but here's the deal. I guarantee that there is a Magic show near you if you live in the US. And I want to encourage you to look at one of your local or more local shows. So the big show happens in Las Vegas in February and August. Now in February, you will be buying for fall. Okay, sounds crazy. And I was just there in August and most of it was for spring. Will there be other seasons there? Are there basics? Are there sort of, things that work all the time also? Yeah, definitely. They have home, gift, baby, beauty, kids. It's all kind of there. They also have a separate section for men's, and then they have an area for emerging designers and more high-end collections. And then also they have people who are from factories and manufacturers and fabric mills coming to a show called Sourcing in Las Vegas. So all of these shows exist under one roof in Las Vegas, okay? So if you want like the whole package, or if you're a wholesaler and you want to both see like trend and find some partners who you can make goods with, this is a great show to go to. The thing is though, if you're just starting out, maybe you've only been buying online, Magic is a great place to go, touch, feel, meet some of your favorite vendors. I bet they'll be there. And you have the opportunity to do this also in Nashville, in Miami, and in New York. So there's no excuse for you not to try to go to a Magic because they kind of happen in every region of our country, right? What you're going to find at the other shows though is a bit more of a curated experience in terms of that locality or that time frame, right? So when I say that, what I truly mean is like if you go to Miami, you're definitely going to get more swimwear, more resort. It's also in January. So what they want is to sell that as an immediate. So you take that Christmas cash that you made and you reinvest it for the next year in the absolute latest and greatest, and it's pretty much available to ship that week. So you'll have it in your store by the next week, right? This is why when you go on their website, you look around, you see what feels best and decide which one you're going to go to. Now you've decided which one you want to go to, the date, the time, all that jazz. What you also can do through Magic's website is book a discounted hotel room, or you decide to stay in an Airbnb, whatever it is, make your travel plans earlier rather than later, especially for where you're going to stay. In some cities like Miami and Nashville, it's going to be a little bit harder to get a spot that at an easy, low cost, like effective price, right? Now, if price is no option for your hotel, whatever, you can stay wherever and use the discount link through Magic. But if you're looking to be more budget conscious, do it early and also consider doing Las Vegas because housing there is much less expensive. Okay, let's talk about how you're going to actually walk around this floor. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is the biggest event a lot of people will go to outside like a concert or like a NASCAR race. Like this is actually a huge event. There's tons of people, there's tons of product. It can get really intense, okay? So I want you to be prepped when you go. Let's talk about what to pack. Definitely sneakers. If you want to be fashion forward, that's fine. But like right now, sneakers are in. And I saw a ton of people wearing really cool sneakers, really comfy shoes at Magic. In fact, someone I ran into said, I made the wrong move. I wore heels. Why did I do that? I know better, right? And she looked great. So whatever. But the thing about this is you are making buying decisions for your business. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel good. You don't want to be hot and overwhelmed and like the lights are bright. I will say this time around, the energy in the room was pretty good, right? They weren't playing super loud music. It was nice. Like there was water. It was cool. The lights didn't feel too bright, but those are the things that could happen. Okay. I want to warn you, if you are someone who is neurodivergent or you have any sort of sensory issues, like this is the place to protect yourself, right? Imagine it being a little bit like an airport, not like a super busy airport, but like a busy airport. And imagine doing it like all day and you have to be there all day. You want to take breaks. You want to be comfortable. You want to stop and eat, right? You have to do that. Set the timer to stop and eat. It's a little bit also like being in a casino. You like don't know what time it is. You don't know where you are. I ended up staying so late the other day until like 6:30. The show closes at 6. I was like outside hanging out. I mean, I just was there all day, right? Like that's all you do when you go and then you go home and most people go to bed, okay? There are troopers out there that will go out and have a good time and do what they want. But I'm going to tell you, honestly, a lot of people just plan to get extra rest away from their kids when they're at these shows. One of the things that really helped me this time was I actually brought my noise canceling headphones with me, like the really little ones. I did actually see people with big ones on, but I wore little ones in my ears and just kind of covered them. And if I ended up talking to someone, I did say like, hey, I'm not listening to anything. It's just sort of to like block out the white noise. But that's the thing in these big spaces, you know, there's just like always that kind of like ambient noise happening. So for me to be able to stay focused and like not get really distracted, overstimulated, overwhelmed, that's been a really good solution for me is putting in some noise canceling headphones and then obviously taking them out when I'm like having a real conversation with people, but also just understanding that like a lot of us are this way where we kind of like need to cut out the background noise to stay focused. So please, 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 if you need support or accommodations, whether it's a wheelchair, whether it's like a scooter, whether it is someone to carry your bags, someone to store your bags, like all of these are available through buyer services. Okay. So if you're going to the show, I just want you to know, like you can generally have support for most of your needs in terms of the show being ADA accessible on a lot of different levels. So now you're in the show, you have your comfy shoes on. You're like, Emily told me to wear my AirPods, so I'm going to try it and not be embarrassed. You know, the one thing walking into the room is like, don't take yourself out. Like this is an industry event. You belong there. And I think it's really easy to look around and see everyone else and think, wow, they really have their stuff together. They look so cute. They look like they know what they're doing. They don't. Most of them don't. And some of them really do because they've been doing it forever. And those people that have been doing it forever generally are the nice ones because they know how tough this is. They remember those first times. You know, they've been through it all. They've been through recessions. Those are the people to find. Be nice to everyone. I said this time around, my motto was truly just going to be go in and make lots of friends. And I went around and found a lot of cool vendors that I had never seen, never heard of. It was their first time at market. And honestly, I had a blast thinking about what clients would love those particular vendors. So watch for my video where I'm going to show you some of my favorite vendors from this past Magic show and talk to you about what kind of store I think that they would be good for. As you're walking around, it's really easy to go into a booth, go into an area, talk to the person who's there. There's always going to be like 1 to 5 different people in the booth who represent the company, and they're there to help you. You know, generally, obviously, they're salespeople, but I also like to think that they don't want to sell you things that you're not going to sell, right? So the matchmaking in this room has to be pretty refined. Hopefully, you find vendors that have really good stuff that you want to sell, and they ship it on time and all that stuff, right? This is a place where things are going to be mutually beneficial for you, your customer, and this vendor, right? So don't feel pressured into buying anything. You can always just take notes. You can always ask, hey, can I take some pictures, take some style numbers? When you look at a tag, what you're gonna see is a lot of information about that garment or that good. You'll see the name of it, you'll see what colors it comes in, you'll see the wholesale price, and then you'll probably have to ask, what's the size break on this? Is it too smalls, too mediums, too larges? Does this come in extended sizes? How high up does it go in extended sizes? These are important questions that you're gonna wanna ask depending on who your ideal customer is. Now, if you're ready to actually place orders, then do it. Ask them to place an order, ask when it will ship. You will not be charged, and this is a big question I get all the time. You will not be charged on the spot. Okay, they're gonna take your credit card number, and when items ship, it will get charged to your credit card or your debit card, whatever you choose to use, but you will have to probably have it on file with them, or you're gonna have to answer their call when it's ready to ship so that you can pay for it. If you don't pay for it, they shouldn't ship it or they won't ship it, okay? Just know that the other side of this is we don't want to cancel on vendors. Wholesalers put a lot of time, money, and energy into developing this whole line so you can come and kind of pick and choose, right? Not all of them are doing a great job, but generally, we like to think that these people, we're doing business with them. We want this to be circular and be successful for everyone, right? So we want them to ship it on time. We want to sell it in the right time period. And then we want to go back and be able to buy more goods from them, like what our customer has purchased. So in terms of the relationship with your vendor, you're going to get a sales order printed out. And then on that sales order, it's literally a printout. And this printout has all the information about what you bought. Now, it won't have pictures. So take pictures of what you bought. You don't want to forget, or take a video, take something so you have a record of the vendor and what you bought. What else is there to do at Magic? Well, I'll tell you. There's always activations. There's always ways to get your makeup touched up. There's always free bags. You'll see everyone walking around with cool tote bags. It's like a fun event, right? There's parties, there's cocktail hours, there's happy hours. There's also educational events. They offer free education for all 3 days, and usually basically every hour, there's some kind of talk, whether it's about a strategic thing, whether it's about social media or trends. I even think some of the keynotes they've had come in recently are so epic and really wonderful. So for me, I'm speaking on that education stage when I go, and I'm usually talking about plus size boutiques. For me, I always want to talk about something I'm interested in and what I see coming up in the future. Magic is that place though. Magic is the place I feel strongly telling someone, regardless of the show you go to, which location, you're always going to get the freshest, the newest, kind of the coolest stuff. And that, I will say, don't let that exclude you. What that means is that the things that get sold at Magic are on the pulse of what's going on in the boutique world. Boutique Land loves Magic. We love the show. We love speaking there. And so hopefully I'll be able to see you at a Magic soon. If you want to learn more about buying and some of the resources we have around markets and buying, click this video and you'll get to that next. Tell me below if you've been to a show or you are planning to go to a show. I would love to help you or chat with you about your experience. I hope that this video has really helped you feel more confident about attending a market. Now, if you are planning on taking that big step and going to a market soon, I have built a guide just for you. So it goes way more in depth on how to actually shop at market. And then I also added on recently a buying budget for you, how to calculate that budget. I actually just ran into someone at this last market who has it, who purchased it. And she said, Emily, I felt so confident walking through those doors, knowing what to say, knowing what to do. I was so nervous before, but after I went through this guide, I knew what I was doing. So if it feels like you need a little bit more confidence to walk through those doors, follow my method. All you have to do is click on the link below or comment market below, and we'll send you the link to get your copy. And with that said, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.